For our next speaker, Caitlin.
Alrighty, today I will persuade you why global warming is a serious problem and there should be actions taken to reduce your carbon footprint. Alrighty. Global warming is a threat that is attacking the world swiftly and silently. It's a natural disaster that needs more voices to speak out and tell why we should be taking action for our future. Failure to take action in times of foreseeable catastrophe is unfortunately a typical pattern of the United States and individuals as well. Global warming was first identified in the 1930s, and with many courses of action, it is a problem that has an uncomplicated solution. Carbon emissions are a threat to the world that are easily overlooked, but with carbon dioxide in the atmosphere at higher concentrations than ever before, it is something that can't go unnoticed. Tapio Schneider of Skeptics states that emissions are 35% higher now than they were before the Industrial Revolution, and this increase is caused by human activities and burning of fossil fuels. Global warming is an extremely important universal problem, and with the cooperation of government and citizens, we have what it takes to make a change. In my speech, I will first tell you about the threat and causes of global warming, next the effect that it has on our planet, and finally how going green is a movement that can really make a difference. I will begin by explaining the serious threat of global warming and some of its causes. Global warming is a progressive rise of the Earth's surface temperature due to the greenhouse effect. It is a natural occurrence putting us at risk, and I will tell you how it is caused. Think of global warming as when you leave your car outside on a hot day. The light and the heat gets trapped inside and it can't escape back through the windows. That is the same effect that the greenhouse effect has on our planet. It has many negative effects on the climate, our environment, and our personal health. Global warming is attacking our planet, and the importance of it is confirmed by acts like Obama's Reinvestment and Recovery Act, and also actions that are taken by the Environmental Protection Agency. There are many causes of global warming, but I will discuss some of the more common causes of greenhouse gases. Carbon emissions are the main contributor of greenhouse gases, which are gases in the atmosphere that absorb and emit radiation. These directly cause global warming. According to an article, Energy Futures, there has been a sharp acceleration in carbon emissions since 2000, to more than 3% increase per year. This is a major difference from a 1.1% increase during the 1990s. Deforestation is logging and burning of trees and is a major contributor to greenhouse gases. It has resulted in the destruction of many of our rainforests and is the main cause of global warming. According to Andrew Sims of New Statesman, expected deforestation up to 2050 with the current wood demands will have an effect of releasing more than 34 billion tons of CO2. This is close to the UK's entire emissions for over a 60-year span. According to USA Today, deforestation is a contributor of 1/5 of human-produced greenhouse gases. Burning of fossil fuels is also another contributor to carbon emissions that cause the greenhouse effect. In an article from The Futurist in 2009, it states that 90% of CO2 pollution comes from the burning of fossil fuels, which are released every day to generate electricity and provide transportation. Jim Dawson, a science editor for American Association of Physics, made this statement about decreasing fossil fuels and resorting to nuclear power. We haven't got that much time on the atmosphere. The faster we shut down every coal plant, the better. We need to move to nuclear plants because it is the fastest way on a massive scale to reverse climate change. Now you know the impact of global warming and how it's caused, I will tell you some of the dramatic effects it has on our planet. The effects of global warming are hard to ignore and are causing a severe transformation in Earth as we know it. Increase in temperature is an effect of global warming that gets noticeably worse every year. Brett Schulte states in News and World Report that even if people unplug all their appliances, stop driving their cars, and shut down every factory today, that there are still enough fossil fuels in the atmosphere to heat the world 1 degree this century. In reality, emissions are still increasing, so this puts a temperature increase at about 2.5 to 8 degrees over the next 10 years. Drought has been an effect of global warming for the longest amount of time. There was extreme drought in the 1980s that shows the early result of climate change. Sims of New Statement stated that from 1987 to 1989 alone, losses in the U.S. from drought totaled over $39 billion. With increases in temperature and emissions, we can only assume that the cost must be much more now. Weather change and intensity of storms is another pressing concern with global warming activists. Rising sea levels from global warming means higher storm surges and coastal flooding. Recent scientific evidence also suggests the links between destructive powered hurricanes and higher ocean temperatures driven by global warming. With the increase in storm surges like Hurricane Katrina, it's hard to deny that this is one effect of global warming. Melting ice caps seems to be the most immediate and cinematic effect. Referring back to Brett Schulte, thermal expansion of ocean water and melting ice sheet could raise the ocean 3 feet in the next 100 years. This would potentially threaten an estimated 100 to 2 million people worldwide. With global warming quickly destroying our planet, it is essential that everyone take action. Now I will tell you some ways we can combat this universal threat. Going green is a worldwide movement that fights global warming one person at a time, and there are many approaches to reducing your carbon footprint. Fuel-efficient vehicles are one method that have gained popularity with citizens as well as the president. Obama has ordered the Transportation Department to boost fuel efficiency on all cars starting with 2011 models. Even here in California, there is action taken with a petition to impose greenhouse gas limits on all new vehicles. The Natural Resource Defense Council stated that stricter standards would raise car prices about $1,000, but would save you up to $230 a year on gasoline. Compact fluorescent light bulbs are another easy way to go green. CFLs use 50 to 80% less energy than regular light bulbs and last up to 10 times longer. The cost up front may be a little bit more, but it's said to save you about $40 to $50 for the lifetime of each light bulb. Turning down your heating or air in the house 1 or 2 degrees is also a really easy way to go green. The fossil fuels burned to provide one single home with electricity puts more CO2 in the air than 2 average cars, so any energy saved can make a difference. Alternative energy options are a way the government is thinking globally and making an impact on the world's carbon emissions. Wind energy is one of the most popular because it has no emissions and is one of the more effective. The U.S. Department of Energy reported in 2008 that wind energy alone could provide 20% of the U.S. electricity by 2030, while creating 500,000 jobs and reducing greenhouse gases equivalent to taking 140 million cars off the road. Solar energy is another form of alternative energy that produces no emissions, although it is more expensive than others. At $12.5 billion a plant and costing energy about 17.9 cents per kilowatt an hour. This is according to the Energy Futures, June 2009. Solar energy is generated at solar thermal plants using mirrors to concentrate sun to produce heat used for steam-driven generators. Energy-efficient appliances are also a way to save money at home and energy. According to EnergyStar.gov, Energy Star appliances saved enough energy in 2008 to avoid gas emissions equivalent to those from 29 million cars, all while saving $19 million on utility bills. These are only a few ways to go green. To name a few others, you can buy reusable water bottles, wash your clothes in cold water, pay bills online, fix leaky faucets, use cloth napkins, unplug appliances, make homemade cleaners, and shorten your showers. I first warned you about the dangers and causes of global warming. Next, I told you about the drastic effect it has on our planet. And finally, I gave methods that you can personally fight back global warming. To not take action leaves us with an earth that is uninhabitable and irreparable. There are good people who are in politics in both major parties who hold this at arm's length because if they acknowledge it, if they recognize it, then the moral imperative to do big changes would be unescapable. Al Gore made this statement in 2006, an inconvenient truth, and it's even more imperative today. While there are many things in the world that you can't change, global warming is one threat that you can combat yourself every day. Take control and become an advocate for life and our planet.